Assalamu alaikum. Let's solve this problem. You are driving home from school steadily at 95 kilometers per hour for 130 kilometers. It then begins to rain and you slow down to 65 kilometers per hour. You arrive home after driving 3 hours and 20 minutes. I will begin solving by drawing an illustrative sketch. Firstly, you are driving from home. Okay, let's assume that the home is located at this point. Okay, we are driving until this point for the distance of 130 kilometers, and your speed was 95. Then at some moment, let's say at this point, it begins to rain and you slow down to 65 kilometers. Okay, and you draw with this speed 65 kilometers per hour. Okay, and you draw with this speed until you reach home at the end. Okay, and the total time needed for all this trip was 3 hours and 20 minutes. Okay, firstly we want to calculate the distance between your hometown, between this point and this point, between your home and your school. Okay, the total distance is intuitively equal to these two distances is equal to d1, the distance needed to travel this part of the track, plus d2, which is the distance needed to travel through this track. D1 is already known is 130, but D2 is not known yet. We want to calculate it. I'm going to calculate this distance from this point, using this equation. V2 is equal to D2 divided by delta T2. Okay, but delta T2 is not known yet. We have the total time only. So from this total time, we want to find the total time needed to finish this track. V1 is equal to the total distance divided by the elapsed time, okay, which is D1 divided by delta T1. We can rewrite this equation in this way. D1, the distance needed to travel this part of track, is equal to 130. V1 is equal to 95. Divide using calculator, and the answer is, now by subtracting this from the total time, we can find this delta T2. Okay, note that the total time is written using two units. We must unify these units by and rewrite this using hours unit or minute units, but I'm going to use the hour units. Okay, 20 minutes is equal to 1/3 hour. Okay, so the answer is, okay, and we apply the subtraction right there, and T2 is equal to 169 hours. Now we can find D2 from this equation that I had written before. V2 is equal to 65 and delta T2 is equal to 100.65. The result of the multiplication is 172.4 kilometers. Now we can directly find the total distance between your hometown and school by only assigning the values of D1 and D2 respectively to this equation. The answer of the addition is equal to 275.4 kilometers. But because we want to be restricted by the number of the used significant digits, we are going to write this answer using this approximation, 260 kilometers, using two significant digits only. Now let's solve a B section. What was your average speed? The average speed is equal to the total distance, okay, divided by the total time elapsed. Total distance is 275.4 and the total time is 3.33 hours. The answer is going to be 77 and the unit is kilometer per hour. That's the end. See you.